In a world where breakups are everywhere among celebrities and famous people, you might think love is just a fairy tale. But don't think that way. We've seen couples like Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson and Denzel and Peta Washington who have been together for many, many years. Young people like Malia Obama should learn from them and do the same. Since the young woman has been seen with a certain man, it's cool to see how she keeps her love life private even when everyone is watching. Want to know who her boyfriend is? Keep watching today's video while we also tell you the secrets to why these Hollywood couples stay together so long. Neil Patrick Harris and David Burtka. Starting today's list, we have one from the gay community, Neil Patrick Harris and David Burtka. New York City is a great place to meet friends and people to date. And this is exactly where the two met one nice day in 2004. Harris in Cabaret and Burtka in Gypsy. But it was Harris who really liked Burtka the first time they met. At the time, Burtka was still dating his boyfriend, but the How I Met Your Mother actor already wanted to be with him. I didn't want to be that guy who was messing up someone else's relationship, Harris said in a 2012 interview. So, I was always around when he was around, hoping things would work out. Luckily for Harris, things did work out when Burtka and his boyfriend broke up soon after. The two went on their first date in April 2004, and Harris said that he was the first to say, "I love you," right away. They kept dating and finally moved in together in 2005 when Harris got his famous role of Barney Stinson in How I Met Your Mother. The next year, he told everyone he was gay, and the couple finally showed up on the red carpet together in 2007. The pair had their children through a surrogate in 2010 and said they were getting married in 2011. The couple finally got married in September 2014 in a small wedding in Italy, and they've been together ever since. Neil Patrick Harris and David Burtka have been together for the past 21 years and are still really happy. Just like these two lovebirds above, this next couple also met in a normal way at a hair salon of all places. Patrick Dempsey and Jillian Frank. Most women know how good-looking and amazing the American actor Patrick Dempsey is. And his lucky wife is the makeup artist Jillian Frank. She may not be an actor, but she is really well known in the business because of her work. Frank has lots of famous people as her clients, and this is exactly how she met Dempsey in the first place. In an interview with People, she told how one of her workers liked to jokingly write down celebrities as normal customers. But one day in 1994, she was surprised when the real Patrick Dempsey actually walked into her salon, and she thought it was just her employee's joke. Both Dempsey and Frank were dating other people when they first met, but even she couldn't help but think how cute he was. However, it would take 3 more years before things started between them. Dempsey remembered how his future wife always flirted back, so he finally asked her out. They spent their date at his house with a homemade meal. Then 3 months later, Frank had already moved in with him. The couple dated for 2 years before they finally got married in 1999. Like the couple we talked about before, Dempsey and his wife had a small wedding, this time at their family property in Maine. However, like most relationships, the two also had their good times and bad times. Heck, they even almost broke up. In 2015, the two split up for a short time with Frank even asking for a divorce. But in the end, the pair decided to go to couples therapy and worked on their problems. Thankfully, it worked because the two are still together today, 26 years and counting. Everybody has their own path, the Grey's Anatomy actor told People in an interview. Jill and I decided it was time to work on our problems and get better. We want to be good examples for our kids. Like, okay, if you have problems, you can work them out. It's good to know that they stayed together because their relationship shows that you have to work hard to make your relationship last. Seth Rogen and Lauren Miller. As one of the biggest names in comedy, Seth Rogen has become really famous in the business over the last few decades. But did you know he's not only funny, but he's also a really nice guy who helps others along with his wife Lauren Miller. Besides being busy with their own jobs, Seth Rogen and Lauren Miller make sure to help other people. But how did the two get together anyway? It all started with their friends. Actually, the two met at a birthday party in 2004 where Rogen's friend told him how the woman he's dating has a friend who he thought the actor might like. That's how they ended up meeting, and the two really liked each other. By the end of the night, Rogen and Miller played mini golf. And to make it even more memorable, they even got into a car crash on a highway. During a guest appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Miller told the story of how a 16-year-old had stolen his father's car and hit them on the highway. The crash was so bad that her roommate had to come and drive him home, but luckily they were both okay. You could say the two became closer because of that scary event and got even closer because the next year the couple moved in together. It took 5 more years before Rogen asked her to marry him in the most unusual way, while Miller was looking through their closet wearing nothing but her underwear. It's not exactly the most romantic way to do it, but it became memorable, especially since Rogen said how he couldn't wait after getting her the ring. He just had to ask her right then and there. The couple got married on October 2nd, 2011, with their family and close friends around them. Over the years, Rogen and Miller became active in helping others. They started Hilarity for Charity, which was inspired by Miller's mother, who had early Alzheimer's disease. The two worked hard on this organization ever since they started it. 2024 marks the couple's 14th wedding anniversary, having spent 21 years together. Peter Hermann and Marissa Hargitay. Of course, included in today's list are Peter Hermann and Marissa Hargitay. Yes, you heard that right. Someone did cry on the first date. She did. Marissa Hargitay and Peter Hermann's love story began at their job on the set of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Hargitay and Hermann first met on the set of the series. And even though he played the guest role of defense attorney Trevor Logan in the series, Hermann became a permanent part of her life. For them, the first meeting was exciting, especially for Hargitay. Back in 2004, she happily remembered in an interview with Entertainment Tonight how her knees got weak when she met him and how it was just so amazing. Hermann, on his side, also acted quickly and asked the actress out on a date not long after his guest appearance. Of course, she said yes. We went to church together and it was like getting hit with a lightning bolt, Hargitay told People in a 2019 interview. I just started crying. Peter thought I was crying because I was touched by the church service. No, it was because I was just so overwhelmed knowing he was the one. She's not wrong because in 2004, Hermann and Hargitay got married on a nice August day in Santa Barbara, California. 2 years later, they had their oldest son in 2006 and adopted 2 more children in 2011. So, what's the secret to their long-lasting marriage, you ask? Hermann lets us know and says that it's laughter. He told People how he never thought I would have this much laughter in my life, saying that his wife is full of laughter and joy. Peter Hermann and Marissa Hargitay had just celebrated 21 years of marriage last August. Matt Damon and Luciana Barroso. Matt Damon became famous for playing Jason Bourne in the Bourne movie series. There's a lot of information you can easily find about this experienced actor, but what we can tell you is that his wife Luciana Barroso is like his Bourne character. Pretty hard to find information about. You see, unlike her husband who loves the spotlight, Luciana Barroso likes to keep things private, something that Damon also likes. What we know about these two, besides their long relationship, is that they met at a bar in 2003 and really liked each other. At the time, Damon was making the 2003 movie Stuck on You and saw Barroso across the room at the bar. At least that's his version of the story. But in a rare interview with Vogue Australia, Barroso told that the actor and his film crew came in one night at the bar she was working at. Matt's story is that he saw me across the room and there was a light on me. The woman from Argentina remembered, yeah, it was a nightclub. There were lights everywhere. However, in her version, Barroso remembered how Damon came behind the bar to take a break from the crowd. As people started to know who he was, she told him he can't just stay there like that. So, Damon decided to help out and started making drinks with her since he had learned how to be a bartender for a role years before. Just like that, the two of them dated, and in December 2005, the pair finally got married. Matt Damon says being lucky is the secret to how he found his wife. Matt Damon and Luciana Barroso will be celebrating 20 years of marriage this December. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. Whenever you talk about longtime power couples in Hollywood, it's impossible not to include Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson in the list. They're one of the most lasting pairs in the business. Hanks and Wilson first met on the set of the 1981 ABC sitcom Bosom Buddies, but there was no instant spark or that sort of thing in their relationship. They were plain friends. Well, It turns out the spark took a little while to happen because when the two met again 4 years later to work on the film Volunteers, there was definitely something exciting there. They didn't waste any time and got straight to dating. By 1986, it was known that the two were a couple. It took another 2 years before they finally got married in 1988, and the two have been together the whole time since. What makes Hanks and Wilson's relationship special is that it's based on a strong personal and work partnership. The Forrest Gump actor also says timing, being mature, and wanting to have a close connection as some of the biggest things that helped their marriage last so long. If you're looking for proof, just look at their 37-year-long relationship.